everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game features a team that can get it done on the ground. The Steelers lead the league in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Chargers, who will need to be stout up front. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the San Diego Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. There's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Back to throw now on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. So that means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
2nd down following the run. Now Ryan on 2nd down. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Time here to show you the starters while we have a moment defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know one guy you like from Miami, Artie Burns.
Just jumps off the screen when you plug in his college tape in terms of athleticism. And I also watched him play with some intelligence. Saw him at one point jump into the slot and pattern read and come off of his receiver to the intended one and intercept a pass. I like him.
It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They'll run with Davis. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. This is Cobb with a catch right side. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, But you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They go again with Davis. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Halfback sent in motion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I'd just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. On the carry, it's Davis. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. Niall Davis, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's what really pays off. Able to move.
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, Ryan. And right side, Henry's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now it's the backup, Rivers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. 3rd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Davis. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job, to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. The slot man in motion right. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
All right, here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll drop the throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And he's got the first down yardage before. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Rivers now to throw on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out the zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Caught left side by Cobb. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Third and long, it's Ryan. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Davis fighting. He loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Here's Ryan. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Here's Ryan to throw. He's into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it's a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner, and now not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll look to throw here on 1st down, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Bryant spread out to the right. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Surveying the field. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll set up a throw. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And now they're in the hurry-up. He'll look to throw.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play? When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And here we go on 1st and goal. They give it off here to the tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And the return will stop right around the 25. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Here's Davis now. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short game. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. From the gun on third down, Ryan. He's got a man. It's Williams. Time for a break. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Defense showing blitz. A handoff as they run the counter play. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Chargers, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.